Hi friends, my name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. Today, I'll be giving you a long list of what's coming to VOD and streaming platforms this September. So many horrors and thrillers this month gearing up towards Halloween. Trust me, it is epic. And if you are a patron, this list will be available to you in your emails or on the Spooky Astronauts Patreon page. And I'll tell you what, I was overwhelmed, so trust me, there's something for everyone this month. But before we jump into this massive list, I do want to thank today's sponsor, which is Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. Not only do they encrypt all of your data and protect you online, they can also unlock geo-blocked content, which is one of the reasons I'm able to watch so much online. So for example, say I want to watch a program that is only available in a certain country, I can just type in the location, click a button, and I'm there. What I also love about Surfshark is they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not 100% satisfied with a product, you can get your money back, no questions asked. Surfshark is a user-friendly VPN, and I would not recommend anything I didn't wholeheartedly back. I pay for Surfshark personally out of my own money. It's helped me immensely, and if you do want to check it out, use my code SPOOKY. You get 83% off and 3 months extra for free. That's the code SPOOKY, or you can also check out the link in the description below. Thank you so much to Surfshark for supporting creators like me, and let's jump in to this massive list. Kicking off on a September the 1st drop, Who Invited Them? This is a slick horror about a housewarming party gone wrong when a couple realizes that 2 of the guests in their home weren't invited. Confronting the duo, they realize they are harboring a secret and they are in for a long and killer night. This film looks edgy and slick. The Shudder original is the first feature film from Duncan Birmingham, and he seems ready to make his mark. Who Invited Them hits Shudder on September the 1st. I am so excited for this next one. Based on the novel of the same name by Grady Hendrix, comes My Best Friend's Exorcism. This is a comedy horror in the late 80s centered around high school sophomores Abby and Gretchen, who have been best friends ever since the 4th grade. But on one warm weekend by the lake, things go wrong and Gretchen begins to act differently. I'll give you one guess to what is eating at Gretchen. The film looks like a fun and fluffy 80s big hair after school special with an edge, of course. And I'm so glad they casted Elsie Fisher to play Abby. I'm putting some bets on this one being an absolute blast. Justin Long is all over horror this month, and you know we're a pro Justin channel. Not only does Barbarian hit cinemas in the US, and we'll talk about that here this month, but we've also got another one. House of Darkness hits VOD platforms on the 13th, starring Justin Long and Kate Bosworth. The seductive horror thriller follows a man who thinks he's about to score after meeting a mysterious woman in a bar. They head back to her place, but as one thing leads to another, he realizes they may not be alone. I can't wait to see Justin Long return to the genre. Check out this one on your preferred VOD rental platforms such as Google Play, Apple, or Vudu from the 13th. Mona Lisa and the Blood Moon will also be released this September. Directed by Anna Lily Amirpour, the film stars Jang Jong-seo and Kate Hudson and is about a girl with unusual powers who escapes a mental asylum but now must make it on her own in New Orleans. Everything about this trailer is perfection to me. It somehow looks completely polished and also very raw at the same time. The film premiered in September of 2021 at the Venice Film Festival, and now we finally have it hitting VOD on the 30th. Okay, so not completely horror, but literally the spookiest we can go. Just in time for the countdown to Halloween is the much awaited Hocus Pocus 2, which hits Disney Plus on the 30th. The film is the story of 3 women who accidentally bring back the iconic Sanderson sisters into modern day Salem. Now they must figure out how to stop them before it's too late. Let's be real, we're all going for the Sanderson sisters in this one. I personally want to see them create pure chaos. I'm all for them taking over the world. Let's hope it's worth the long wait, almost 30 years after the first. Shudder original Saloom has it all, a wild action horror thriller that follows 3 mercenaries on the run after extracting a drug lord from Guinea-Bissau. But now they're forced to blend in at a holiday retreat as a dark secret catches up with them. The trailer doesn't give much away, but early reviews promise that the film has plenty of unforeseen twists. In fact, the film is a mix of unexpected unexpected genres. So buckle in because this one drops on Shudder on the 8th of September. Another Shudder original, but this time in the form of a familiar friend. Raven's Hollow follows none other than West Point cadet Edgar Allan Poe, and 4 fellow cadets who are on a training exercise in upstate New York, where they are drawn to a forgotten community guarding a frightening secret. This period piece will be available on Shudder from the 22nd of September. I was honestly shocked when I heard about the next one because no one was talking about it. Goodnight Mummy is getting an English remake and it's set to hit Prime on the 16th. The remake of the Austrian film of the same name stars Naomi Watts as the mother and real-life brother actors Nicholas and Cameron Crovetti as the sons. If Cameron looks familiar, it's because he was Ryan Butcher from The Boys. The movie is about twin brothers who arrive at their mother's house after she's had surgery and start to believe that something is not quite right with Mummy. If you've seen my review, I was not the biggest fan of this original film, so I might be due a rewatch of the original before I watch this one on the 16th. Canadian pagan horror, which does not have a pronunciation anywhere, I believe it's called Jakirag, please correct me in the comments, has been confirmed to hit VOD on the 2nd of September. The film takes place in a pagan village where death and suffering has taken over. Now the last surviving village elder battles madness and the macabre to save her people from the final judgment. The film is very much a passion project, with the film having a lot of crossovers between the writers, lead actors, and directors, many doing multiple roles. Visually, the film looks beautiful yet dark, but there's only one way to find out if this period folk horror is worth your time. It will be available on the 2nd on rental platforms. New Netflix miniseries Devil in Ohio follows teen Jules, who comes home from school to discover a strange girl in her kitchen. Her mother, who is a psychiatrist, explains that the girl is one of her patients from work and will be staying with the family for a few days. Jules attempts to welcome the girl, but before long, she's pushing boundaries, and the evil side of this stranger begins to show. And guess what? There is no sign of slowing down, and things are about to get dangerous. This drama horror mystery series hits Netflix on the 2nd. I have been waiting for this Danish horror for so long, and when it premiered finally at Sundance in January, there was so much buzz, so I'm so excited to finally check it out. Speak No Evil is the story of a Danish family that visits a Dutch household, and what was supposed to be a peaceful weekend turns sour as the Danes try to stay polite when the layers begin to peel back. Why am I getting Funny Game vibes? I've heard this one has a chilling conclusion. I have no idea where it's going, but I'll be watching as soon as this one hits on Shudder on the 15th. Indie Aussie horror Sissy is finally getting a streaming release this month. This teen-ish comedy horror focuses on bullying through the lens of social media. It's a light-hearted, quirky splatterfest. I hear myself saying these words and I'm like, that is not a normal thing to say, but horror fans get it. You understand what vibes I'm going for. In the film, we follow 2 best friends who, after falling out, are reunited for a bachelorette weekend, where everything goes terribly wrong when our unstable protagonist, Cecilia, is pushed out of her zen zone when she is confronted by her high school bully. I saw this film earlier in the year and found it to be fun and very thoughtful, although the ending wasn't my favorite, but be sure to make up your own mind when it drops on Shudder on the 29th. Okay, make sure you watch this next avant-garde comedy drama horror on an empty stomach. You have been warned. Flux Gourmet takes place in an institute devoted to culinary and elementary performance, where a group finds themselves dealing with a dark and bizarre struggle for power. The film is directed by the divisive Peter Strickland, director of films such as In Fabric and Barbarian Sound Studios. So if you're looking for something a little bit unique, keep your eye out for Flux Gourmet on the 15th when it's served up on Shudder. Handmaid's Tale is finally back for season 5. I'm such a big fan. This dystopian thriller is one of the most horrific shows of the last decade, and Elizabeth Moss never misses. What an arc she's had as June. Set in a dark future, the show is about a fundamentalist dictatorship which forfeits human rights. The show has its dramatic return to Hulu on the 14th of September. And of course, in Australia, you'll be able to catch it on SBS On Demand. Smart home horror Margot hits VOD this month and follows a group of college friends who rent a smart house for a weekend of partying. But the house is a little bit more advanced than they expect, and its AI system begins to show signs of a more sinister design. The horror thriller, directed by Stephen C. Miller, hits VOD platforms on the 9th. This one looks pretty straightforward if you're looking for a fun sci-fi horror flick. Los Spookies is back for season 2. The HBO original show premiered in 2018 and received great reviews. The series is about a group of friends who turn their love of horror into a business, providing a service in a place where nothing is as it seems. Season 2 starts on the 16th on HBO Max, and it's also available in Australia on the platform Binge. The long-awaited remake, or should I say revamp, of The Munsters hits Netflix on the 27th. I'm still confused why this is a feature-long and not a mini-series, but I guess we'll see. The comedy horror is based on the 1960s sitcom of the same name, but takes place prior to the events of the previously adapted series. Yep, this is the origin story we wanted of Herman and Lily. But of course, it's got that Rob Zombie spin, so who knows what's in store. Honestly, I never thought I'd see the day when Rob Zombie was direct to Netflix. 2022 is wild, but this time it's in the best of ways. Check this one out when it hits Netflix on the 27th. I almost wasn't going to include this one, but wow, the special effects and gore look intense, so I thought there was a bunch of you who would get a kick out of it, you sickos. The Red Book Ritual follows 3 friends who decide to play an innocent game. What they don't know is that this game played in the house they're currently in is a recipe for disaster, and playing the Red Book Ritual will allow evil to unleash its fury. This one is streaming on VOD platforms from the 13th. And of course, this month we have Queer for Fear, a new Shudder original series with 4 episodes. This doco tells the story of the relationship between horror and queer audiences. This series will cover everything from Norman Bates in Psycho to the Universal monsters. The doco series hit Shudder to celebrate its 61 days of Halloween on September 29. See, I wasn't lying. There's everything. There's TV shows, mini-series, we've got some returning series, we got some remakes, some revamps, and everything from high-budget horror to more indie. So there's something for everyone, and this is just on VOD. Of course, this doesn't count all of the cool stuff that is going into the cinema this month. I'm going to be very busy, so I'm very excited. If you'd like to come along for the journey, please subscribe. I'm here talking about horror and thriller movies 2 days a week, and I've decided my unofficial title is definitely Horror Hype Girl, because that's what I'm here to do, put a lot on your to watch list and get us talking about horror. So if you'd like to come along for the journey, please subscribe. And if you did find this video helpful, please share it with a friend or consider hitting the thumbs up button. I hate saying that, but I have to sometimes. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all doing so well. Stay safe and stay spooky. Until next time. Bye, friends.